Well, it's our first Tips with Jan of the year. And Jan, it's so great to be back with you.
It is. It certainly is.
And so we need to talk about the season so far. It's just been so crazy.
Yeah.
January was really nice. We all thought, okay, we're going to have an early spring. And then February was super, super cold. And now we're into March and it's kind of, what do we think? What's going on?
Well, you never know for sure.
That's true.
Yes, but January I still had fuchsias blooming, and I really thought, and I know a lot of other people did too. It's like, oh, okay, I think we're going to make it through without pots freezing that you forgot to mulch or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, then it happened that we got a lot of cold weather, and you may lose some things because of that that you thought would make it. Don't be too big a hurry to prune them back, and just wait to see some new growth, and then you'll know if you lost it or not.
But look at those flowers in your hand. So things are blooming.
A hellebore, and these are snowdrops, and there's things this time of year that are meant to bloom now. Daffodils and other bulbs, they may have come up already. They can take hardy. They're hardy enough that they can take really cold weather.
Right, right. So just be patient.
Yes.
We're not patient gardeners, but try to be patient.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got some pruning done here.
Well, that's good. Look at that.
This tree is about 30 years old, and it never really, only once I think we pruned it a little bit. It's really never needed it. It's a sturdy little tree with the smallest branches are as big around as your thumb on it. And so we got that pruned, and some other fruit trees and pears and pruned as well. And you can rejuvenate these old trees.
Yeah.
If you prune them really hard, you're going to get some sucker growth on it. You've got to be prepared to take that out. And so you could, if you, let's say we waited until summer to do this, you can do summer pruning and take a third out one summer, a third out the next, and a third out the next, because they're going into dormancy.
Okay.
And then you won't get those water sprouts.
That's a good tip too.
Yeah,
yeah. Great.
So we got a lot of work done. We've really developed a considerable amount of debris.
Definitely. Well, so it's not too late to prune.
No, it's not. But if it's something that's tender and it's going to shoot some new growth right away, you may want to wait a little bit.
Right, because we still can get chilly.
It's still okay for roses. The roses haven't, ours anyway, aren't in enough sun that they've popped too much. So not too late.
Oh, great. Well, let's go to another part of the yard, because we're going to talk about another winter kind of tip there.
Okay.
So Jan, I'll help you do this if you come over to my garden and help me.
Okay, okay.
So really, it's time to take all the leaves out of the beds.
Right, and I usually do this every year, and I usually take, luckily I didn't this year, I usually take everything off, the leaves off probably the end of February, but we had so much cold weather. But now I'm beyond where I should have taken them off. I had to go to Hawaii. So
oh, well, gee, that's hard.
I know. So what I'll do is just pull all this stuff off and see what I have underneath. And here, there's some hyacinths in here and some daffodils, and they just come right up through the leaves. And I'll just clean them all up and put them out in the sun. And anything that's white down below, where the depth of the leaves was, this one isn't too bad, but they'll green up in a hurry and develop chlorophyll in there.
And they'll be really fine.
Yeah, and I started to do these pots a few years back. It's so much easier to just clean them up, put them out, let them bloom, and then put them away, so that you don't have to have all the bulb debris.
Oh, the old foliage once they're
bloomed. Sure, you just move them. Perfect. So look at that. That's been covered up. But it will. It's like blanched asparagus.
There you go.
But you can. It'll come right back in just a few days. It'll develop enough chlorophyll.
And then what about too many leaves around the stem of a tree?
Well, all of this is going to come out of here. I don't even know what's in here.
It's like surprise.
It's like, oh, it's Christmas. Anyway, and then all the pots that have trees in them, I'll take all the leaves off, get it down to the soil level where it's supposed to be. You don't want to leave that on there because it'll rot the bark.
Right. And then really, you want the soil temperature to start warming up too, so you get that in case you're going to be planting vegetables or other plants. Sure.
Well, that's it in the spring, and all the time over these years that we've been talking about it, using a soil thermometer to know when the soil is starting to warm up, and that's what we want to have happen.
Definitely. So it's time to get out in our gardens. It's finally the spring. So if you have any other questions, please go to Garden Time, and we'll click you over to the OSU website, because there's always tips on that website. Thanks so much, Jan.
You're welcome. Bye.